Okay, good. You guys say hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we really need to see Jesse. Jesse, we're talking about the prompt that I think you'll be able to see in front of you on the screen. This Hazlitt prompt, written in 1827, and we've just spent some time with the three graphic organizers. So, of these three graphic organizers, did any sort of help you to get to something you'd be able to write in analyzing this rhetorical machine?
The chart definitely not.
Hey, you guys speak really loudly.
The chart.
The T chart?
Yeah.
Yeah? And how did you label that, Julie?
Purpose versus strategy.
Give me four more words. Okay, I got purpose, I got strategy. What'd you write in there?
Oh, I said, so purpose is to develop his position about money, and some of the strategies he used were personal pronoun, semicolon, unusual sentence structures, and juxtaposition of contradicting images.
Okay. Good. Some good thoughts. Did anybody find more out of any of the other, or do you want to add to Julie's list? You'll notice that here, under purpose, or what the STEM calls position, she's just reiterating kind of what the question asked. What is his position on money?
I don't know what it is.
So you don't know? That's okay. Somebody might. Connor, would you get some good notes on?
Um, I said for logos, pathos, and ethos. Under pathos, I remember there's a line in the first half of it where he mentions not marrying someone you want to, and that kind of stuck out.
Can I just pause and say this, thank you. That's good work, because what he's doing is saying, I got a technique, pathos, and it's bringing me into the passage. Okay? So there's that weird landlady line. And Connor's like, well, it's definitely not aimed at the brain. This is aimed at, like, the heart or lower, if you will. So, we got some pathos going on with the landlady. So that fateful day in Daytona when we started this out, after we did the reading out loud, some courageous high school teacher says, are we supposed to find this funny? And I remember thinking to myself, shut up, because I'm not sure what the right answer is. Do you have just a, do you have an answer to that?
No.
The line about the liver was funny.
There are a couple moments. The liver complaint, and this is good, as Connor brought up a moment with the landlady. There's the liver complaint, and it suggests. It's sort of like, I think for you guys, like, is this funny? No. Right? For you guys, like, this is, oh. But I think you're going to have to accept it as, like, some old movie that you know is supposed to have moments that are supposed to be funny. You don't find them funny, but there's this sort of intent in the rhetorical triangle. Good. And let's go logos, pathos, ethos. Okay. How about in this rhetorical triangle? By the way, are you writing me, like, are you going to these now? Okay. When I do work in the summer with teachers, I use this as an instance where I think if you really push at the rhetorical triangle, you might be able to go somewhere with this. So we kind of know, in rough terms, who's the speaker? Hazlitt, and this isn't fiction, so we can sort of imagine that the speaker and the author are the same. Hazlitt. Who's his audience?
The public.
Okay, well, it's sort of, in largest terms, there's some public out there that he wants to address. And what's his topic?
Money.
Money. When we say want of money, what's a synonym for want? No.
Desire.
You think that it should be, because that's the way we use this term now, on the desire for money. And in fact, this is the most common error made by high school students. So common that when we were training up to grade this, we were instructed that all the Matt Gudises of the world who mistranslated that word were to be forgiven. If kids read this as on the desire for money, that was fine, but not in fact what Hazlitt intended. Anybody else? Shake it.
A need, maybe?
Like where money lies.
Yeah, on an absence or a need for. lack of. On the lack of money. So that's the topic. Okay, good, good, good. Let's go. Oh, this is kind of interesting. The public. Which public is he really addressing? But let's go to Hazlitt for a second. Can you kind of dress him in your mind? If I asked you to do a picture.
Yes.
Yes. So get us started here. What might Hazlitt in 1827 14?
A monocle,
Yes.
oh yeah, a Monopoly mustache,
Yeah.
a pipe, a top hat, a
Cross between
tweed
the
blazer
Frankenstein
with
and Nazi
elbow
Man.
patches, and corduroys.
Okay, I'm not sure what a Monopoly mustache is.
Like the guy.
Okay.
Goes along with one.
What in the text? I bravo, by the way. I think that's really good. What in the text leads you to this? Can you quote and say Monopoly mustache because, right?
He
Connor,
says one cannot.
he says yes. His diction, his use of pronouns, right? He says one in a way that sounds formal. Excellent. Other things. Yes.
There's a fragment here where he says, or earn a precarious or irksome livelihood by some laborious employment.
And
I guess most people don't say that.
what's that?
Laborious, I'm assuming he's like working in a lab.
Yeah. Close. Laborious is just involving a lot of labor. Laborious. But you're saying, again, you're confirming high diction,
Yeah.
right? Like really complicated diction. Anything else? Any example that suggests to you? I think top hat is money, and I think monocle is awesome. But you have to, what the game here is to go back in and say, somebody who says this is like some dude sporting a top.
Forego leisure, freedom, and ease of body and mind to be dependent on the goodwill and caprice of others. It makes me, when I read that line, it makes me think that he has already experienced much of the money, that he knows what he's talking about.
Nice. Forgo leisure. One must forgo leisure. As if somehow leisure is your right. Can you, like, what is it like when you don't have money? You can't imagine. You have to forego leisure. Imagine. And good, another moment or two in the text that suggests to you this, I've played this game with another class, just this moment, and they're like, tin cup in his hand. Like sitting on the street with a tin cup. Why is that wrong? Okay, you don't have to answer that. You go with what you got.
I was gonna say goal, G-A.
Jail. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just an old spelling of jail.
So you knew it was
Idiot.
like older text.
Yeah, definitely old text. But this could be like, you know, a penniless person can go to jail. Yeah, right? But he's not.
He uses wiseacres.
Yeah, again, we're doing a lot of the, like, high diction. This, I gotta confess to you, I've read this thing, like, at least 50 times. And I've read the larger, what it comes from. And no one knows what he means by wiseacre. He sort of means fun pokers or something. He means it in a slightly different way. But it's definitely that elevated diction that indicates sort of an elevated social status. Any other note-taking thoughts yet?
He says to be assailed on every side with envy, and assailed is certainly not a word that a common person would use.
Yep.
It was written in the 1800s.
Yeah, his diction is definitely appropriate to age, but also elevated for the age as well.
Well, this is not about diction, but then like a parallelism that he makes. I think he's at the very last line says, and after a lapse of time to commemorate your genius and your misfortunes, he's kind of linking money to time. And then I don't know.
If not money, at least artistic genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. He does project forward, right? That's that last of three sentences. A little shorty at the beginning, a little shorty at the end, and the shorty at the end is like, you know, what's going to happen if you lack money? Well, I'm going to give you the longest sentence ever in the world to tell you all the things that are going to happen if you don't have enough money. And then at the end, he's like, and then you're dead, and like, then finally they recognize what an artist you are. Great. right? Thanks, wiseacres. Any other parts of the, are there parts of the text like just that you underline? Where in this text you're like, I can get a couple of fingers in this crevice and climb up a little bit?
Greek manuscripts.
Greek manuscripts? And what do they have? So you can imagine some manuscripts of Homer, and what would he be doing?
Erudite reading.
Interestingly, this is, he imagines himself reading Greek manuscripts. Is this good? Like, is this like, yeah? No. No, this is, I don't know if you know the word litany, but it's a list, usually of complaints. And this is, God, I wish I could read on this board. I should just read on this if I'm doing. But, so, that line 24, right? The use of your fingers by transcribing Greek manuscripts. This is a list of what happens. If you don't have enough money, you have to earn a livelihood. Oh my God, you have to earn a livelihood? That sucks not having money. You have to have a job. Like, think of the jobs you might have to have. You might have to be a judge abroad, for the love of God. Think how horrible that would be. Like, it's not, you know, it's not the list that makes sense. Well, my experience is so different. All right, I'm going to give this a pause now, and I want you to write paragraph 1. Just don't think about it. Dive in, use his name in the first sentence, and write your first paragraph.
Where?
Jesse will be back in just a minute. Let's talk just generally about the first paragraph of a rhetorical analysis essay. First paragraph of a rhetorical analysis essay. I've tried to make a point of where I think you should go in the first paragraph. And many of you, just looking over your notes, are bypassing my advice because there's so little to cling to, right, on your first reads of this. Do you remember my advice about where to begin, what paragraph 1 should be about? I think paragraph 1 should be here. Purpose. Why? Why did Hazlitt write? Why did Hazlitt write? What do I hope to have you avoid in that first paragraph?
He wants money.
What I really hope to avoid is a paragraph that does not end. His main strategies are lists, semicolons, and whatever. And I understand that that's what you got right now. But let me suggest that between now and Thursday, when you sit down to write this, you consider making purpose at the center of your first paragraph. Anybody read a good first paragraph from somebody else? Yeah, I've read this 8 million times. Ron's is pretty good. Ron's is pretty good. Hang on. What we'll do is poor Jesse's just been watching a screen unmoving. So we'll get Ryan up here and then ask him to read, and then we'll check out on Jesse. All right. So we got him. Here, actually, come on over here and sit here.
Does Jesse tuned in live?
Dude, did not.
Skype.
He's live.
That's okay. After we hear Ryan's, you're going to be tempted to criticize, but we're going to give him praise. Go get it.
Hazlitt has very provocative ideas about the worth of money. In fact, he has quite a few. And in this long litany of examples is a I can't read my own writing, toned argument about the silliness of money. Hazlitt's most powerful tool of persuasion is indeed his cornucopia of cases, which he strings together so seamlessly. He employs a thick layer of sarcasm on top as well to give his writing teeth. He uses traveling to the East or West Indies as a burden, something one would not enjoy, as far as I got.
Great start, right? Particularly in the context of just, late afternoon, get this thing thrown in front of you. What specifically do you respect that Ryan wrote?
I didn't understand several of his words.
Cornucopia.
Cornucopia? You know what a cornucopia is. You just don't know that.
Thanksgiving.
That's the thing all the fruit and vegetables are in Thanksgiving.
Yes.
The horn of plenty. Yep. And this, a good way to get at this, there's a accretion, an accumulation, a gathering of many things here. And he gets to that. Good. Anything else?
He doesn't dive into the context right away. He makes analogies.
He doesn't follow the advice I've just given you, which is to stick to purpose. He gets to strategy, but it's broad brush stroke strategy, which is useful, right? One of the strategies is going to be a listing of cases. He uses the term cases. Thought that was really good. Anything else?
He addresses his tone,
Yeah.
being sarcastic.
Yeah. He says there's a layer. To me, it's not it's like a glimmering layer of sarcasm, but I think to get at sarcasm, it's really helpful. And to get at tone is really helpful. So, excellent. Let me say this. And so, Jesse, we want you to write this sometime this week. Okay? I hope that you keep on your skis during all your downhill training.
Good luck, Jesse.
Yeah, you can say goodbye to him.
Later.
Okay. Let's see.